Thank you, Joe. God, I hate following. He could have been the radio voice for that opening 750. What energy. And I want to thank the city of Delray Beach, the Delray Beach CRA, and Old School Square for hosting us today. Without their efforts, we wouldn't be here, and such a great example of what a plan can do to a community. Fellow delegates, the South Florida Regional Partnership is a voluntary growing collaboration of more than 200 public, private, and civic organizations from 7 counties in Southeast Florida: Monroe, Miami-Dade, Broward, Palm Beach, Martin, St. Lucie, and Indian River counties. You can already see we're over 200 today, so I think that number is probably close to 500. So I want to thank you again for being here. The partnership is led by the South Florida Regional Planning Council and Treasure Coast Regional Planning Council and has a 34-member executive committee made up of public and private sector representatives of the entire 7-county region. The partnership will assist with the assistance of a federal HUD grant, has united to leverage resources and coordinate long-term planning and create this plan, 750, to increase competitiveness and prosperity for the region, to provide greater opportunities for sustained job creation, become more globally competitive, offer a better menu of transportation options, and ultimately result in a more people-friendly, resilient, and environmentally place to live, including a Captain Morgan exhibit next door and free samples. I stand before you today because I believe in the partnership. It's our opportunity to shape our future and create the vision and plan for sustainable Southeast Florida. As a native Floridian, a father of 2, I am dedicating my time to the partnership and 750. Why is that important? I feel that it's important for our future. As I talked to my wife last night and talked about 2050, she said, "You're not even going to be here in 2050. I said, well, maybe I'll be here in 2050. I'd be 90-something years old and might not be in my bloodlines, but our children and our future children and our community, it's got to be sustainable. And so that's why I'm here to participate. I'd also like to thank and encourage our elected officials to lead the charge and move forward not only with a plan, but an adoption, implementation, and follow-up. I'm also encouraged to the overwhelming showing of my elected colleagues here today. And you can see from the list, it's overwhelming. And I think the success to any plan, and I participated probably in a dozen plans over my 28 years as an elected official, you can have a great plan, but if you don't have the buy-in of the elected officials, it will go nowhere. So again, I want to congratulate everyone for taking their time, putting in 5 hours today, and hopefully some time in the future to understand the plan, so when it comes time for adoption, we're all a part of that. And then finally, the executive committee, those 34 members that we have met tirelessly for over the last year to get to today, our first forum with delegates. With that, I'd like to introduce our project director who's going to lead us through the day, Marcela Camblor Kusamanis. Marcela.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning. You know, my job as project director for 750 is really to get the 2 regional planning councils, South Florida and Treasure Coast Regional Planning Council, and the 7 counties, and 21 different transportation agencies, and 129 different local governments, and I think it's 200 plus and growing consortium and partnership organization, and probably thousands of residents to agree on a vision and work together for the next 20 months and come up with something that is consistent and cohesive for Southeast Florida for the next 50 years and beyond. So, piece of cake. But I am a firm believer in the public process, and I do believe that with authentic public process, with these types of events, with going to the people to really find out what it is that the community wants, we can get a plan that we can all stand behind. And that's exactly what 750 is. 750 is a vision, but it's also an investment plan. And we say it's an investment plan. It's an investment plan for growing a more prosperous, a more desirable and a more resilient Southeast Florida region and future for our region. But 750 is also possibly the most important, most comprehensive, the largest long-term regional plan that this area has ever been engaged in. Can you hear me? I'm sorry, I've been told it was hard. It is the most important one that at least I have been engaged in, and it is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You know, we believe that today is a historical moment, that it is a pivotal moment, because not only is it the first summit that we're going to be conducting out of 4 in the next 20 months, but it is the first day that you, our summit delegates, start to provide that authentic input, start to shape 750. Nothing has been done as far as input. Input starts today. And another key thing about 750 is it's not about reinventing the wheel. We want to make sure that 750 encompasses all the plans and all the efforts and everything that has been going on that is relevant to the region, that is valid, and that it is included. And you will see as you work through the day today that we've already started doing that. There's plans like the 6 pillars plans that many of your communities have been engaged in, and the SETS plans, and the state plan, and the climate compact. All of those have already been incorporated, but we want to make sure that we hear from you because we don't want to miss other efforts and other plans. If this is going to be a plan that truly is something that we all stand behind, it needs to incorporate all of our previous efforts. So today we will be asking you for a short time of the day or for a short portion of the day to listen to some national experts, but the majority of the day is really going to be dedicated to taking your input. You will participate in polling and surveys and work at the work group levels, and you know, hopefully be providing a lot of input. I think one of the things that we are very lucky here in the Southeast Florida region is that in order to do this effort, the team that is guiding us through this effort is, in my opinion, I believe probably one of the most extraordinary and the best groups of professionals ever assembled in the history of planning, at least and certainly in Florida. This team of 16 firms that are nationally and internationally recognized and acclaimed, and they should be up on the screen right now, but they're not, is actually going to be helping us and working with us over the next 20 months. And you know, you may know some of them from names, but if we can get a map on the screen, many of you, I'm sure, probably know 2 of the lead firms in that team, and they're Dover Cole and Partners in Duany Platter Zyberg, and you will know them not just because of their name, but because of the amount of work that those 2 firms have done in our region over the past 25 years. It's pretty impressive. I'm sure many of your communities have Dover Cole or DPZ plans that you're following and implementing. But before I introduce Victor Dover, who is principal in charge with Dover Cole and Partners, I want to ask you, and you will hear us call you delegates throughout the day. I want to ask you, our summit delegates, to do a couple of things today. The first one is to please provide input. There's a number of different ways to do that. You have the key shop kiosks, and you'll have cards and the work groups and many other ways to do this. So please provide public input or your own personal input. And the second key thing is that you take today as an opportunity to meet your neighbor to the south, your neighbor to the north. Those that we planners, whenever we go to your communities, we hear you say, oh, we don't want to be like the people to the north, or we don't want to be like them when we grow up. Listen to them, talk to them, because chances are that your hopes and your concerns are all very similar, at least when we think regionally, at least when we think about working together. And then the last thing, please today embrace this opportunity, honor this opportunity by working together, by participating. It is a once-in-a-lifetime chance that we get, and we only have one shot at doing it right. So Victor, if you can get us started. Thank you.